Now, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says these scenes that we are seeing on our screens, on our phones, if these are not enough to prompt action from the world, then we're lost. We're joined now by UNRWA Communications Director Juliette Touma. She's live in Amman. Juliette, great to have you back on the show. I'm not sure whether you were able to hear Dr. Tom Potaker there very clearly laying out what he has seen in the last few days, of course, at Nasser Hospital, that really goes to show in very clear language that, that this food distribution method is not working, like you told me a couple of weeks ago, like repeatedly aid agencies have been telling me.
No, it's not working. It's bringing havoc.
Yeah.
And it's as if you're inviting people for their own death. A third incident, very high number of casualties, including injured and killed people, and the doctor's testimony, which I have heard, sums it up.
And Julie, when you hear the IDF saying that this has to be done this way to try and make sure that Hamas does not steal the food, what is your answer to that response? Is there any proof that Hamas is stealing food here?
When did the Israeli army become an expert in the delivery of humanitarian aid? We know how to do this. We have been doing this for decades on end in Gaza and in many other crisis, conflict situation and context. We deliver aid directly to people who need it most. We've not had aid diversion, especially and in particular, not to armed Palestinian groups. We need to get evidence. Enough with claims and claims and claims and spreading disinformation. Enough with that. People are being killed. They're being trapped in a death point, begging for food. That's not how aid should be distributed. This is not how we do it.
Yeah, well, you had a system in place that worked perfectly over many, many years. That is clear. This is clearly not working. 20 Sallies, 27 people dead and dozens injured. And they say, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, Julie, say it's going to continue. They're going to continue with the system, which really makes me think that this is going to be, we had 3 consecutive days of attacks. We might continue to see this. I hope it doesn't, of course. But as you were talking, we were playing video of some men, I think it was mostly men, who had gone to these sites carrying food sacks in their back. The other concern, and I remember you telling me, there we go, we're showing this video. I think these are mostly men. I remember you telling me this, Julia, I think it was last week or the week before, that the problem is so many people can't get to these distribution sites. So many people won't have access to this food. This is a huge concern, and parts of the population just don't have access to it.
Precisely so. I mean, this model is flawed. You have on the one hand only a limited number of people, mostly young men, who would be able to make that very long journey. So that excludes women, it includes people with disabilities, it excludes people who are injured. But also, how will this so-called aid foundation vouch for the aid it is distributing and make sure it doesn't go to Hamas? Do they have any monitoring mechanisms? Why is this better than the United Nations system that delivered directly across 400 areas of distribution to people in need directly? How come this is better?
And they haven't, because our journalist has put that very question to them and we've got no response on that clarity. This is something that we have been asking for some more transparency and we have not gained so far. Juliette Touma, as always, appreciate it. Thanks, Juliette.